spiritually, the people be strong, dedicated in the word of God, knowing the word of God. That is growing spiritually. But physically, it has to affect the church itself. Because the church can never grow spiritually and never comes to physical realms. It has to, when it grows spiritually, physical realms, it will affect it. For us to know that, Charlie, this thing that we did, no, it's like things are changing in numbers, in everything. Yeah. That's it.
So we want to know some of the strategies that if you want to grow a church.
If you want to grow a church, it's only three things that I will put across today. 1, discipline. 2, commitment. 3, availingness. These are 3 things that you can use to grow church. When the people are not disciplined, they won't follow a vision. When the people are not committed, they won't come together to build something that you want, build your vision. When they are not available, you can't do anything without availability. Because when I'm available, I can be at presence anytime. So these 3 things is what grows church. Yes.
These 3 things are
church.
Yes, we are still live on Facebook, AG Apex Media, and you are watching us here with Apostle Simon Boison. Apostle, today we want to find out what are some of the challenges that the leaders go through in terms of growing their church.
One challenge is what I would say is one is finances. That is one thing. And second, finances, because it's money that you used to do everything. Without money, you can't do anything the way you want it to be. That is one thing. And secondly, when the people are prayerful, because church growth depends on 2 areas, physical and spiritual. So when you are financially okay, there is nothing that you want to tackle that you can tackle. That is one thing. And when the people also understand your vision, they will support your vision. So these 2 things, they have to understand your vision. And secondly, we have to also get something like finance. You have to be strong. So you'll be able to put things across and things in place. Yeah.
Without any financial support, you cannot
grow a church. You cannot grow. Because church has so many areas. Churches, we build schools, we build missions, we do orphanage, we do so many things. And we help the society as well. So if all these things you don't have money, you can't do it. That is one thing. So when you want to grow a church, you must be strong financially. That is one thing. Yeah.
Okay, so can we say that we can grow it spiritually to the extent that God will touch people's hearts to come and bless the church?
Yeah, that one too is true. It's true, but in this dispensation, it's not everybody who understands church and understand your vision. For me, for instance, I've helped so many people that some have traveled, some of them I bought their ticket, some of them I give them money to put in their pocket, a lot of things. But when they go, they have forgotten about the ministry. So you grow them, you build them, but when they get it, it depends on only their decision. When they decide to help, they will. If they won't, they won't. So you pray for them, that is one. But you, the man of God too, you must be physically and let's say physically stable in finances. If not, you have a problem. Because what you depend on the members, your vision will never be complete. That is one thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we are still live on AD Apex Media. This is Apostle Simon Boison Show. Please do well to like and share for others to be blessed as well. Today we are still talking about the growth of church and how to grow your church. So if you are an upcoming church that you want to grow up your church, I think don't pass away. Don't grow. So stay tuned and still watch us. We still have much to give you today. So Apostle, today I want to find out what are some of the misconceptions about growing a church.
Yeah, misconception is in a way about growing a church. Listen to me. How do I even put it? How do I go about it? I want to bring this thing on board and for it to be okay for people to just okay. I want to bring this on board. Let's say one thing you have to deal with is familiarity. One thing you have to deal with some familiarity. That is one thing that always brings kind of misconception in the ministry, because knowing people and giving them the access always to come to you and like play with you is a problem. In this generation, people don't know how to draw lines. Boundaries. People don't know how to do that. So that one also is another problem. That is a very big problem. Let's say it's a very big problem. That's a problem for the senior.
Okay, so you see, in this society that we are living in right now, we believe every good thing comes from the devil. That's why they say when a church is growing, physically, we will say that, let me use this word, so that one too, what do you have to say about it?
That one, they have a point.
Okay.
They have a point in extent that Bible said, by their fruit you shall know them. By the deeds of the men of God sometimes give people room to talk. Okay. Because sometimes the way they do their things, it doesn't tally with the Bible. And that one will give room for people to talk. But what I want to say is that when God wants to grow something, it grows faster than the devil growing something. And if God wants to grow something, it goes through process. Because people will say that they open a church today, tomorrow, a year, the church is booming. God doesn't grow church like that. Church growth is in process. When I come to my church, for instance, I came on this land the year 2000. So I've been in ministry on this land for 25 years. And the struggling and the tuggling, it wasn't easy at all. The ups and downs, it wasn't easy at all. Let's assume if God grows church with like years, like by now everywhere, like the people will be everywhere. I'll have about 6-7 service Sunday, you see, but it doesn't go like that. Even with this years, we are still struggling. It is, you have to go through the process. God will build you, God will mold you before the time comes. So church doesn't grow in a year or two. It doesn't matter the anointing you carry. Because people will come, they will leave. They will come, they will leave until church becomes stable. It takes hard work, dedication, discipline, and those things for church to be stable. So church doesn't grow in a day. And secondly, by the deeds of the men of God, also tells people that they have gone to, somewhere to, do things to do the church. That is one thing. That's why people talk about it.
And do those things really exist, or just
those things? Let me tell you now. When you bring, let's say, 100 men of God now, by 90 of them are not using the power of God. That one there, I must be frank with you, because people want shortcut more than the process. So many of the men of God, they are really men of God, but they are not men of God. They are saying they are men of God, but they are not men of God, because they know where they are, they belong. That is one thing. Yes. So now, in our generation now, if you are not careful, you go to a church, you think I am in a church, but spiritually you are in a shrine. Even now, church building, they do some kind of incantation, sacrifices. They bury a lot of things in the church. Some of them even bury human beings on their platforms in the name of miracles. But one thing I know for sure is that if it is from God, it will stand. So why are they saying that? So many churches came booming, but now you don't hear from them again. Whatever that is from God will stand and stand forever. If it's all from God, from the devil, it will boom for some time, and later you realize it's gone. So I believe in those things, because there are people that goes there. Some of my sons that I trained, that they left my church and they want to make it on their own. Some of them went to those places. And I'm a witness to that. Good.
So meaning it's truly exists. That
Exists.
Those things are there.
Truly, it exists and is there.
Okay. So Apostle, please, I want us to look at this. You see, some of us, the background that we are coming from, maybe some of us were coming from churches that do not believe in music and those stuff. So, for instance, even when your keyboard is faulty or something, because you are pressing it and it is still coming, your pastor will tell you to, you say mobile eba. Yeah. So I just wanted to throw a light on this one. How does music helps church to grow?
Okay. The one thing is that church without music is not a church. Because even God moves with music. In those days, when a man of God want to prophesy, Isaiah, for instance, Elisha, Elijah, those prophets, they will tell you, Jehoshaphat will tell you, bring the musicians to come and sing. The moment they are singing, you see the power of God will come upon him and will start prophesying. Without the music, God doesn't move. God moves with music. That is God. So music has great impact, like let's say 60-70% in the church. When you see any genuine man of God has a prophetic spirit, they move with music.
Yeah, that's true.
The moment the musician sings a spiritual songs to raise his spirit spiritually, God opens his eyes.
Yeah.
That is one thing. So it is very poor and very dangerous to have a singer who cannot sing spiritual song for a prophet to operate.
Okay.
And pastors, they move with singers.
Okay, pastors move with singers.
That is it. Because that two gifts work together as one. Like female and male. That is it. So music has great impact on the church. That is it.
I believe wherever that you are watching us from, you are really blessed this afternoon. I'm also blessed. Today, we are fortunate to have Apostle Simon Boison in our midst. And we would like to tackle on this one. Apostle, we have been seeing some flyers flying all over the internet. Yeah, which we have our Reverend Lawrence Tetteh picked on it. And we would like you to talk about it more.
Okay.
For our viewers to know exactly what is going to happen.
Okay, that is very great. Thank you for this question. Okay. The flyers in the social media going everywhere is only a program. Okay. A program of honoring. Like my spiritual father is Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh. Wherever he is, I send my regard. He's a very great man of God, dynamic man of God, loved by all. As a matter of fact, he might have some enemies, but even enemies love him. That's true. That is one thing. And this program is about honoring. I am doing this program personally in honoring my father. Because one thing I know is that we, the sons of today, we don't honor our leaders. One thing, if you don't honor your leader, where he has gotten to, you will never go there. You never get there. So honoring is something that we do to at least, to appreciate our spiritual fathers, for even for them accepting us, praying for us, being there for us, advising us, mentor us, So it is a program of honoring. Yeah, I want to honor my father, Reverend Dr. Lawrence Tetteh. Yeah.
Oh, this is very beautiful. So permit me to ask this.
Okay.
So how long have you worked with this man?
Okay. In my 20th in ministry, I was going to have anniversary, 20th anniversary, and I was praying for some great man of God to come and honor this program, and God directed us to go to him. So when I go to him and I asked him to come and do the program, he openly accepted. And from there, the relationship started. And I said, Daddy, please, I want you to be my spiritual father. He said, it is done. It is done. So I have known Doctor for 5 years now. 5 years now. But our relationship has grown to extend that it is like we have been together for 40 years. That is one thing. He recognized me as a son, and I recognize him as a father. There are some fathers you are with, but they don't recognize you as a son. That is one thing. So it's been 5 years being with him.
5 solid years.
5 solid years.
And if I may ask, what are some of the things that you have learned from me? I mean, like some special features that you have learned from me that has really helped your ministry to grow.
I have learned one thing from my father. He's very jovial. Okay. That is one. But very, very, very disciplined. He can play with you now, and he can rebuke you at the same time. At the same time, he doesn't joke with ministry. Okay. That is one thing about him. He doesn't joke with ministry. He loves ministry. So I've learned his discipline, his jovial style, and he's open to. But he will not allow you to cross a certain boundaries. That's one thing about him. That's things I've learned from him.
Yeah, Apostle, thank you for having you here today. We will not waste much of your time. This is where we will bring this section of Apostle Boison to. So, Apostle, your last words for our viewers.
Okay. It's all about church growth. When you are a worker in a church, you have to commit yourself. People are really working in the church, but they don't see anything turning around in their life. Because we serve in 2 ways. You can serve with your heart, and you can serve with your head. That one you have to know. Serving with your head is when you see the pastor, you pretend for him to see that, you do things for him to see that you are working. Serving your heart is when a man of God is not around. You do everything with your heart wholeheartedly. That is one thing we must learn. And working in the house of God too, there is something that if you're a worker, you have to break with your pastor. Relationship, familiarity, that familiarity, you have to break it. Okay. It's good to be close to your pastor, but don't take him for granted. That is one thing. And lastly, whatever you are doing in the house of God to help the kingdom work, you are doing it for yourself. The Bible said, he will judge you according to your works. So whatever you are doing it for God, not the man of God. So do your possible best also to help. And by doing that, whatever you need God to do and whatever you have wished God to do in your life, God will do it. It's just a matter of time.
So it's all about commitment.
Commitment.
Yeah, doing things right even when your pastor is not around.
Good.
Okay. So viewers, this is where we will bring the show to an end. Still live on Facebook, and next week by this time, same time, you still see us here. And I believe you are blessed today, and next week you are going to be blessed more than this. We thank you for staying with us and watching us throughout this episode. Keep on watching AG Apex Media, Apostle Boison Show. Keep on liking, sharing, and subscribing to our channel for us to give you more beautiful content like this. Thank you for watching us.
Nyame be no ti se Kristo yi.